the sun on my face, sleeping rough off the road. I'll tell you all about it when I get home. Coming round to meet you the long way down.
We're going to ride 15,000 miles through 18 countries.
From John O'Groat through Europe and into Africa.
Across Libya to Egypt, following the Nile south into the Sudan.
Crossing the equator and over to the Skeleton Coast.
Arriving in Cape Town 85 days later.
We're going to give these guys video cameras, and they'll also have cameras with microphones on their crash helmets so they can film as they're riding along.
Oh, there's a bit of tarmac. Oh, look at that.
A third motorcycle will travel with them, and on that motorcycle will be Claudio, a cameraman. In addition, Russ and I will travel in 2 4x4s with Jimmy, another cameraman, Di, our medic, and Jim, a cameraman who will help with security. We'll be filming the guys from the vehicles, linking up with them at borders, but otherwise the motorcycles will be on their own.
I've been waiting for this moment for a long time now, and although I'm sad to be leaving, I'm really excited about what's ahead.
I suddenly had a little pang of like, oh God, we're leaving the island.
Sienna for lunch?
Oh, here we come.
Doesn't look like you're going to get the visas.
Are you pulling my leg?
Don't take it personally.
No, we're
It was quite weird what happened. We all kind of fell out at one point. We're having a bit of a crisis here in the old tent. Everything is just completely covered in sand. Anyway, I can tidy this all up, pack it away, put it on my bike and push on. Got to do about 450 miles across the desert road in heats of, 46 degrees this afternoon. The thing is, it's 4 o'clock now.
Yeah.
And we want to try and get to Tobruk, which is 250 miles away before nightfall.
You're averaging around 60 miles an hour, but let's say 50 if this keeps
Because this wind is horrible.
We either follow the coast road round to Tobruk, or we cut through the desert and there's nowhere to stop. So we either get to Tobruk or we don't. We're taking a risk overtaking in this, eh? Wow, look at that.
I don't know how we're going to drive in this at night.
This day turned into a bit of a nightmare, really.
Blasting along at 70 miles an hour in the dark with a side wind. The bike's almost 45 degrees on its side. My neck's killing me. Stupid.
Not content with the sandstorm and the wind and everything, I'm hoping you'll be able to see the black smoke belching out of it.
Jim found out that the air filter's full of sand, so he's going to blow it out, but look at it all. Just what we didn't need, eh?
We've been going since 8 o'clock this morning and it's now 10 to 9. But it'd be nice to get this over with. It really would.
I was just thinking, if I get hit by a camel, will you tell my kids that it was very important that I had to get to Tobruk tonight? I don't know why, but it seemed to be important.
It's very scary because you just can't see anything, and it's kind of, you sit there thinking, why am I doing this? All just to catch a boat. It's a little bit mad, really.
450 ball-breaking miles to get me in that hotel.
I feel like I've been punched.
What a day.
Egypt, arrival date 28th, departure date 29th. So we don't stay anywhere more than 12 hours max.
This is the Commonwealth grave at Tobruk.
From feeling emotional about not seeing my kids, we went straight to the cemetery, and it was a very kind of moving morning. There's quite a lot, Charlie. I've just sold, look, a soldier of the 1939 to 1945 war, known to unto God. There's quite a lot of those.
You see all these young guys that fall because of some crazy guy in Europe starting a war and they all die. But on the other hand, it shows that as a Commonwealth, it's important that all these countries stick together, because it's when it all gets difficult, that's when it counts. That's when everyone should come together and stick together and fight together for what they believe in, and that's what this cemetery is about.
Talk about a world war, it really was. There's soldiers from India and Australia and Poland and Czechoslovakia and Britain, and soldiers from Sudan and Arabic countries over here.
Made me feel very sad. I got really welled up inside, and my throat really shed a couple of tears, I must say. Then it makes me think about my sister, Tasha. I lost. I feel very sad today.
I actually thought a lot about my sister, you know, because all these people losing their children or losing their brothers or losing their, you know, whatever. And it just all came flooding back, the loss of my sister. It was quite, I got very emotional. I had a good old blubber in my helmet. It's only been 2 and a bit weeks.
We flew into Cairo a couple of days ago because we weren't able to get into Libya. Hopefully the guys are just literally over there about 20 miles.
David just called me.
Yeah?
So they're already at the border.
So we can't be far now, are we?
No.
Almost there.
We're pretty much right here, border between Egypt and Libya. And I'm very excited because I'm about to get back together with the team.
Could be a real problem getting into Egypt. It could be easy, but then everyone said it would be very difficult to get into Libya, and that really didn't take long at all. So fingers crossed.
It's been a long time. We got there at about 2 o'clock. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 5 hours.
They're coming.
We're officially in Egypt.
We met up with Dave and Jimmy, and the team's complete again.
Dave, Jimmy, it's good to have you back. Nice road, cat's eyes lines, visibility, can actually see where we're going. The bike's upright and not 45 degrees in the wind. These are all improvements, you know.
And the next day the plan was to ride to Alexandria and then from Alex to Cairo.
You can't drive into Sudan. You have to take a ferry from a town called Aswan, which is nearly at the bottom of Egypt, into a town in Sudan called Wadi Halfa. The only way you can get there is on this boat, and that boat only operates once a week. So if we miss it on Saturday, we have to wait another week.
It's all a bit hard work this morning. Riding to Alexandria is like 250 k's or something.
Yeah, I'm so wiped out from the last 3 days. I can't take this in barely. The traffic's quite interesting, isn't it?
I'm sitting here and it's just shit because I feel crap. I'm just knackered now.
Yeah, it's beautiful, but then we have to get to Cairo this afternoon, so we can't stay here. We can't see any of this, because all we can do is have lunch really quickly, and then get back on the road, drive to Cairo, and then tomorrow we have to drive to Luxor, which is like 500-600 miles.
I just can't go on like this.
I'm just shagged. It's just too much.
Just a bit shattered, yeah. Just a bit fed up, really.
You know, we've just done the last 3 or 4 days. It's just been, you know, it has been hard. You know, we haven't given ourselves time to recuperate.
I said, why don't you add a week onto the trip? And you said you don't want it. So if you wanted to try and complete it on your schedule, if you're now saying let's add 2 weeks to the trip, I don't mind. I'm saying there's a ferry that goes on Saturday. If you miss it, you have to wait a week. I don't make the ferry.
And you're absolutely right.
I accept that as well,
Right.
Charlie. So So
In my opinion, just because I'm sitting here saying we're all here safely and soundly, what's beautiful is we're at the northeast corner of the trip. From here on out, it's down. Do you know what I mean? You actually made it to the northeast corner. We're going to go down from here on out.
See how you feel, Ewan, but I would like to try and get to Cairo and then at least have a lie-in tomorrow.
also, if you do go to Cairo, if you stay in that hotel and you pull those things back and you see the pyramids, that'll wake you up a bit.
I realised something that he had said. One, we chose the route and the mileage. The other one was that we hadn't spent that much time on the route, really, and we haven't. So I think we're paying for it now. Anyway, meanwhile, we're coming into Cairo. Oh my God, it's the pyramids. Oh my God! Woo!
I just can't believe we're so lucky to have the good fortune to get in here on our bikes and get the place to ourselves. It's ridiculous.
It's all south from here, Charlie.
They're so beautiful.
You can see from the top of that one what it must have looked like, all shiny and smooth, mustn't it? What a feat of engineering. It really is one of the 7 wonders of the world.
It's one of those moments in your life where you're face to face with something or someone you've known all your life, you know. I was standing looking at the pyramids. I've known them since I've been aware, and yet I never saw them in the flesh before. And then to go into the pyramid was an amazing privilege on our own again. It was just wonderful, wonderful.
And the sarcophagus will be dragged down here on the tree trunks.
So tell me one thing, whose tomb is it?
It's Khufu.
It was built in his lifetime for his death?
Yes.
Or was it?
It was built in his lifetime. It took 35 years to get built. Gonna meet anyway. But inside here, you'd find red granite.
Yeah.
And red granite is not in Cairo, not in Luxor. Red granite is all the way down to Aswan, 1,000 kilometers from here. 1,000 kilometers from here. And they didn't have motorcycles. They didn't have cars.
They probably had motorcycles.
Everyone's got a motorcycle. I thought it would be really cool in here.
It's hot.
Yeah, I thought it would be.
There were a third stone hanging over there.
Oh my God. Wow.
Every single rock was attached to the other by pressure. By some way, they would take the pressure out of the stones and they would stick together, and they never moved for 4,600 years at least.
Incredible.
That's the thing.
I mean, people couldn't redo it now.
No.
I mean, so how did they have the ability to make every single stone fit?
That's amazing.
Wow. Who cut it? But it was so perfectly
How
flat.
did they work it out?
Yeah, how did they know each stone fitted? I mean,
Do you think we're going to come up with the answer?
I probably will. It's in the Charlie book of everything, you know.
I'm sure you will.
It's a military beach, so the military guys came running on it. They say you're doing gay porn down there because 2 gay white people are naked in the beach of the military. Americans are invading us naked.
They just took a little swim, and the military thought it was gay porn.
I'm sad not to have seen Alex. I'm sad that I didn't see Cairo. I mean, I was blessed to have that time at the pyramids, and I'll never forget that. It was beautiful. But I never saw any of Cairo. I saw pictures of Cairo when we were doing the prep, and I was like, oh my God.
I think we had this very sort of Shangri-La kind of feeling about that we would go here and here and spend time here and here and here. And in actual fact, the mileage to be able to go to that place or to this place or to that place is just huge.
I think psychologically, since we left John O'Groats, we've been in a mindset of trying to get somewhere. And really the journey isn't about visiting this place and visiting that place. The journey is a bigger, deeper picture about moving through countries and its people and meeting people and feeling a sense of where you are in the present tense, feeling that we're here and now, not feeling like we've got to get there then.
We're now in an armed escort because there's been some militant activity shooting west of us in this part of Egypt in the past. We're now driving still at 10 o'clock at night. We've still got nearly 3 hours to go to Luxor. They're on high state of alert, really, aren't they? I mean, at this time of night, people with guns.
Checkpoint after checkpoint after checkpoint. It's a nightmare. We must have gone through, I don't know, 40.
At the moment, to me, it feels like an exercise in stamina. How long can we ride a bike for before someone has a crash?
So went for my second wind to kick in. I caught myself almost slammed into the back of Ewan on that last speed bump just back there. I think I'd fallen asleep, to be honest.
We could end up riding every single day to Cape Town and just have a really good, miserable time. I don't want to do that.
We made it to Aswan, and I'm determined that from here on in we're going to get over this little sad, unhappy hump that we've been having the last few days.
I tell you, it was a real struggle getting here this time, wasn't it?
And I'm sorry for my part in it all, and I really am.
Yeah.
And I think we'd make every effort to make the rest of it really enjoyable.
Yeah.
So we're going to fly down to Kenya for Riders for Health, which is one of our charities, which means it saves us doing this huge big loop when we actually get to Kenya.
Farms, here we are. What a great flight.
It's a bit funny to be in Kenya already. We're a bit ahead of ourselves being here, aren't we?
A little bit.
On this project, a team of 15 bikes with 15 dedicated nurses and community health workers get out there and they bring the drugs to the people.
It's all about motorbikes. Always has been, always will be.
This is exactly what Riders for Health thing is designed to get doctors and nurses and health workers out to see everybody. Hello, hello, hello.
The problem in Africa and places like here in Kenya is that people can't necessarily get to the hospitals to get the medicine because they can be 4, 5, 6 hours walk away. Hello.
This is Ewan.
How are you, Agnes? Nice to meet you. Before the clinic was here, how far would Agnes have had to travel to get to any hospital or any treatment?
For HIV care, it's Nairobi City.
That's it.
Which is about 300 kilometers from here. This is one of the nets that we provide the community members with. Each and every bed in this location has a mosquito net. We used to see hundreds of cases of patients per year of malaria, but currently we hardly see 10 cases in a year.
So not only have they built a hospital here, they're creating jobs as well. So it's like a win-win-win, really.
That's amazing. But I'm so impressed. I've been completely blown away by how effective it is having motorcycles attached to, in this case, a clinic.
And it's so lovely to be here, right out in the sort of savannah of Africa. And the Maasai people, they're very confident, elegant people.
It's fantastic. I mean, this is the stuff of real adventure traveling, isn't it? Never seen anything like it. It's brilliant.
I've got someone's camera here.
Okay. I've got a spare hand. So this is the boat that's going to take us from Aswan down into Sudan, and there's no road. You can't drive down. There is going to be, but at the moment there isn't. In many ways, it's the highlight of the trip so far for me, just because of the colour and the noise. So much stuff coming onto this boat. People up here with it seems their whole worldly possessions, and downstairs you've got all the people in all the benches. It's real kind of first, second class business, like in the old days, I guess.
People just piling stuff on. Apparently what a lot of Sudanese do, they come on the boat, pretty much nothing. That one of the guys working on the boat was saying that it's just everybody just buys everything to take it back into Sudan.
It reminded me of some kind of scene from Indiana Jones or something. It reminded me of that kind of vibe, you know. crazy, colourful, thinking snake charmers and whatever.
And we just left at 5:30 when we got on the boat at 11:30, and I was talking to one of the guys on the boat. I said, what time are we leaving? He said, you just got to leave that watch behind. He said, that it doesn't work in this country. It's pretty cool, huh? Nice little resting place for someone important.
Yeah, the ferry's been amazing. I feel like it's the closest I've ever got to my gap year, you know, the backpackers experience. Later. Sitting down there in the crazy cafe. At one point I looked down and I thought that all the extras had been released from the set and they were having their tea, and I remembered where I was. That wasn't on a film set, I was in the real deal, you know.
You could sit for hours looking at all these different characters and families.
Oh, Britannia. American.
Yeah. And you? Sudan.
So that's it, we're now in Sudan, and over here, look at this. This is now the proper Lawrence of Arabia type desert. More than anything, it symbolises the beginning of a new chapter in the trip for me. I think we've got through the really difficult part in terms of mileage. You know, I feel like we've been on motorways since we left. We really did a lot of road work. You know, we didn't get off the main drag really at all.
It's good, it's going to be a big adventure these next 2 weeks. Go to Sudan, Ethiopia, and then we'll pop down into Kenya.
This is a motorbike.
Endless paperwork.
So they put the wrong sheet with the wrong car. That's okay, no problem. Mafi mushkila.
I just calculated that we've got 16 more border crossings on this trip in 2 months, and each one of those is like out of a country and into the next one, so you could multiply that by 2, so that's 32 border crossings, each one a minimum of 4 hours. That's a whole week spent at borders.
OW56, yeah. So this one.
Why are 8 intelligent people sitting in 44 degrees heat when we could be in Surrey, Ewan?
Yeah, this is the wrong car.
Because it's there, man. Because it's out there.
Cheers. Do we need any other paperwork, or is that it? That's it?
This is it. It really is the stuff of dreams. Little boys' dreams of adventure.
It's those moments, those slap in the face moments, you know, when you suddenly realise where you are.
What does a Welshman need more than a hammock and a sheep?
This is Barbara.
So we're going to go down, all the way down along the Nile.
This road is not easy.
So what do you reckon, Ewan?
Yeah, well, it sounds like that's the way, definitely.
Yeah.
We are taking the slightly slower route down to Khartoum. The other one's more direct, but there's very little to see on it.
It's going to be really tough. It's hot. The roads are really sandy. Bring it on tomorrow. I'm really excited.
First day in the sand. Not my most comfortable surfaces.
First things first, as I fell off. So I had a chat with Charlie and he gave me some clear tips, and he really saved my bacon today, Charlie.
Get the clutch out as quickly as possible to accelerate. And you go and then keep going up the gears, and then keep high. Don't keep it very rev.
Kick it! Gotta get the weight back. Lower revs, tractor through. If it wobbles, a little bit more on the throttle. Push through. I just want you to see some of the landscape. Look at that!
I think the roads took us a little bit by surprise. They were quite bad, and plus the fact that it was, you know, around 40, 45 degrees.
The heat's something else, you can't really prepare for it. Hello, Salam. How are you?
Then we found that little village and with a lovely little kid, and they offered us some lovely watermelon and all sorts of stuff. It was really nice.
Oh, yum.
And then we went on a bit more, and I noticed that Ewan's bike was just bottomed out completely.
It's just the ruts are impossible, man. This is hard, man. Been shaken to pieces.
I thought suddenly the bumps had got so much worse than they were before. Then I realised it was my shock. It's just not giving the bike any spring at all. Look, you can see on your shock, it's nice and springy like that. You can get my finger in between it, and over here on my bike, it's collapsed. I can't get my finger anywhere near in there. I suppose we're going to have to try and replace it or repair it or something. We've got a spare. What do you need?
Sex.
Well, I can't help you with that.
With my wife.
Every night I tell you I'm not helping you with that.
Fucking
what
hell.
else can I do for you?
Well,
can I give you a star?
BJ?
Yeah. Completely collapsed the shock. Charlie and Jimmy did a great job fixing my bike. But it did seem to be a bit of a whirlwind. The clip was a bit like Race to Dakar. People pull up in 4x4s. Quick, what's wrong? Oh, straight the shock, quick! Get the shock down, straight the thing. Why was there in such a rush? Yes, fixed. Charlie and Jimmy did it. Very good.
We managed to change that, no problem at all. And then when we were going to camp, we rode across the desert to camp, just get off the road a little bit. And Claudio's suspension is gone now.
1, 2, 3, go!
I mean, that's as quick as
And we don't have another shock.
Whoa!
Is there any...
Okay, so it's quite low down at the back, of course. It's not the kind of thing you would bring a spare of really at all. It's incredibly hot. Maybe it's just the heat and the ruts, and everyone talks about in the roads in Africa, these ruts. They're not just Sudanese ruts. There'll be Kenyan ruts, there'll be Tanzanian ruts, there'll be ruts up the wazoo. Take it easy.
So Russ has gone off to try and find a van which will come and pick Claudio's bike up tomorrow.
My feet got so wet. There was no ventilation in these boots. They got really pruned up and then blisters, you know. I just, you know, because I broke my leg just before we came, I'm not comfortable not wearing proper boots. Because the last thing I need to do is break it again, so I'd try and make these ones work. Russ came back later that night, but clearly I'd had quite a tough time.
There's a guy coming in an hour and a half with the truck to sleep with us tonight. But when we were driving out, we hit an almighty bump. And because the big trucks have created big ruts, one minute you're going along a flat plane and then suddenly there's an enormous roll and it went bang, and then both the tyres fell off and smashed on the windscreen. Oh, God. The whole roof rack's gone forward.
Oh,
it nearly all slid off the front. But the road over there is really bad.
Yeah.
So Charlie's is probably going to give up.
So they bent the whole iron. What a day. I could end up riding my own tomorrow. If Charlie's bike goes down, couldn't I? It's a bit hardcore,
I'll
though.
just go to bed tonight, eh?
Yeah.
We've managed to get Claudio's bike picked up today to get it to Khartoum. Looks like we've got 2 shocks going to Khartoum now. That looks like it's settled. Claudio's bike's fucked. Ewan's bike is fucked. The whole thing is just a bit of a mess really at the moment.
So what are you up to?
I left England 13 years ago, and to do a circumnavigation using only human power. So crossing Atlantic from Portugal to Miami in the pedal boat, and then crossing the US on rollerblades, across the Pacific to Australia on the pedal boat.
Well, listen, good luck. It's a pleasure to have met you. It really is.
You too.
I mean, how hard and how mean does this guy have to be to be doing this road, you know?
Nice to meet you, mate.
Yeah, you too. Good luck.
Yeah, good luck, mate.
Good luck, mate.
Yeah, cheers, mate.
In this heat, really, really hard. And on your own.
How big a pussy do you feel now, Charlie?
I really wish him well. But he was looking pretty gnarly, I must say. I'm very impressed.
We've met some brilliant people. You know, we've got huge smiles while we're on the road.
Hello!
We see loads of kids run out and wave, and All those little towns down to Dongola are absolutely fantastic little towns.
Incredible place.
All those pretty villages, just so far away from our culture, you know, it's great.
We were just starting to hang and wow! Woo! Woo! Don't tell Ewan, okay? I've never seen such a long tan in my life.
Oh my god, that's fucking hot.
I've been really touched by these travellers that we've met.
And these two have been riding these bikes around the world for 9 years. So 3 years America, 2.5 years Asia. Then we went to Australia and New Zealand. Then we went to Africa, and we spent also.
And find myself slightly envious of the time that they have. I don't want to appear like I'm whinging about it, because it's only my fault and for not making the journey longer. But I'm envious of the time that they have to spare.
So look, have you seen this shop? Just about everything you want. There's pasta, there's oil, there's crisps. There's... Amazing, eh? Just incredible.
It suddenly became surreal, you know, the people and the turbans and the colour and the smell and the noise.
Look at that. There's the Nile, for God's sake. What, are you kidding?
After riding all day, like 120 miles off-road, and then the last 10-15 minutes of our deep sand, you're like, oh, come on, give me a break.
You know, we're all desperate to get to
Dongola. I don't... Because we think tarmac starts to shortly after that.
Dongola! This way? Dongola! Yeah, back there. Shukran.
We actually went right past Dongola. Luckily, I was thinking this is not right. And I flagged down this car, because I'm always going, Dongola? Dongola? And he looks at me and he goes, no, Dongola! The ferry crossing was nice, and we met this lovely young kid who was travelling on his own.
Tom, tell us about your trip. When did you start? Well, I started in Cape Town about 5 months ago in Christmas, and I've just been coming up Africa since then.
He said he knew exactly what he was going to eat when he got home. He was going to eat a pack of crisps and a cheese and ham sandwich in front of telly.
I'm not an off-road rider. I don't choose to go and ride bikes off-road for pleasure. It's not something I do. I love to ride bikes on the road. I don't even like to ride them very fast.
Oh, there's a bit of tarmac. Oh, look at that. That's what we like to see. Oh, that's nice. Oh, yes, that's nice.
Well, Charlie, we're on a bit of tarmac. That's mainly all I care about. And we're heading to Khartoum.
Meet this junction and cut across all the way to Khartoum here.
Claudio's bike's been fixed and we're going to start heading for the Ethiopian border. Baking hot. I think it's nearly 40 degrees.
Oh, I just feel just soaking wet in my trousers. It's just a horrible feeling. France, we were pissing with rain and dreaming of the Sudan, and suddenly at one stage I did think about the rain and thinking how nice that would be.
Leaving Khartoum.
Bloody hot out there. Be nice to get out of town.
Slow down then, you tit.
These roads are really dangerous, actually. It's the first time I've been sort of scared on a road. We've just come across this crash that it would apparently happen very early in the morning. Yeah. And the guy apparently fell asleep and then crashed.
This is the driver of that truck, and he's saying that he fell asleep, and he's thinking he's very lucky.
When we arrived, all these people came out and they were cheering and they were having a right laugh. They'd obviously just been standing round the crash site all day long, you know, and really had something to talk about today.
My new friend.
A friend, you had a friend?
Yes, another friend.
We need to find a place to sleep. But a tent.
After بدني كوبري هنطوب.
And that's 20 kilometers?
What are you going to do when the head of police is sitting on your bike? You can't tell him to get off, can you?
I bet you drops it. Bet you drops it, right?
Yes.
Bet you fiver he drops it.
Very heavy. It starts here. Oh, careful, 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 careful. Careful, careful. Press start and he just rode off on Ewan's bike and I thought, oh no, 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 no. Careful, careful. I didn't know he was going to do it. Careful, that sand.
He's coming off. No, he's not. He's doing all right, actually.
Yay!
Oh. He seemed to know exactly what he was doing, and he rode it very competently. And I thought, well, you know, what can you do? It's the head of police. Wants to ride my bike. There's nothing I can do about it. We were looking for a place to camp as it was getting dark. And I feel properly in Africa now, you know, that the trip has really seriously begun.
There is a change in people's faces already, isn't there? They're, you know, getting more Middle Africa, getting darker and slightly changing. That's the impression I get, anyway.
What we know about Sudan is Darfur and Chad and that trouble. That's all we've heard about Sudan. My experience has nothing to do with that, really. My experience has been of friendly people, and even the fact that we're from Britain and a couple of guys are from America. You know, you might think that would be in a Muslim area that maybe make us unpopular, but even that's been. I've never not said that I'm from Britain, and I've never had a negative response about it. Have you?
Yeah, I never once felt threatened by anybody, you know. It was a good day though. It turned out to be a great day.
And when we woke up in the morning, it turned out it was a brick making place. And this was just where the brick makers camped. It was fascinating to see how they do make bricks from the clay earth. God, it looks like real archaic chain gang stuff. You know these guys aren't getting paid very much money at all, I bet.
Ethiopian border. Just a bit of a slog today to get there. We left early, but we've still got, I don't know, 250 miles. I think we should be there by midday, maybe.
Heading westwards towards the sun. When the past starts to bleed into one.
There's monkeys, 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 there's monkeys. There are monkeys.
Well, here we are in baboon land, and it's just a sign of the change of Africa that we're going through now.
We've seen lots of camels and everything, but these are our first baboons that we've ever seen. We're out of Sudan and we're in no man's land. Just up ahead is Ethiopia. I have to speak to my agent about billing, of course, but there we are.
Yeah, but they just did it on the alphabetical.
Sure, that old chestnut.
Yes.
Ta-da! Well, let's see how Ethiopians stand. Ethiopia.
You actually have two phases. One is border control for passports, and then it's actually customs. And we're carrying so much stuff that depending upon who you bump into, they could either sit there and look at the paperwork and say, okay, or they could actually ask you to take it all apart and look at everything. What he's saying is customs is closed now at 6 o'clock, and they want to do a 3-hour-long inspection of all the goods. They need us to camp here tonight.
Well, that's all right.
That's all right. We've got to go back into that fenced area over there.
Cool.
I said,
Can we get the bikes in?
Yeah.
All right, good.
So let's drive in there.
As long as we get the bikes in, we can sleep anywhere. Laughs like a little squirrel or something.
We could be here for 6 or 7 days. You never know.
I'm sure they'll get it sorted in the morning. We'll push on. It's nice though. It feels different, doesn't it? Very different. It's so weird, these borders, lines in the ground on the map. And they actually do change, everything changes over them. There's lots of clouds actually, I wonder if it'll rain.
End of this month is when the rainy season's supposed to start, which means it could sort of start from now on, really, it could do.
Here we're in the middle of a rainstorm. Lightning and thunder and all sorts. Very dramatic. It sounded fantastic. I was lying in my tent listening to the rain going, oh yeah. After having crossed the Sahara and been in the desert, and here we are lying in a tent and it's pouring with rain.
You could easily take 2 days at some of these border crossings if you're getting the paperwork wrong. You get the wrong stamp in the wrong place, and then you have to keep going backwards and forwards, and if you can't speak the local language, which you can't in Africa, it's impossible to know every single language. It would just be almost impossible.
But the customs guys looked at, I think, the things he wanted to look at. We've repacked everything away, and I think we're just waiting for stamps and papers and passports and that kind of thing.
We're actually running up right now to Gondar and then up to Adragat, which is basically the northwesternmost town in Ethiopia, right up against the border. So we're obliged to have 2 armed guards with us.
So we've got clearance now to ride out of the customs compound. So we're off. We're going to ride into Ethiopia. Here we go.
Ewan and Charlie decided that they'd ride on ahead of us today, which is a good idea, but all the guns for hire are with us, so hopefully that was the right decision.
We climbed up and were just met with thousands of cattle and sheep and animals and people coming down the road towards us. Anyway, it turned out at this time in the year, all the animals from the highlands get brought down to the lowlands because of the rainy season. It's incredible how it changes over the border, just bosh. Completely different world. Desert, border, Ethiopia, green village land. Amazing. So much more wildlife and a difference in religion as well, of course. It's mainly Muslim in Sudan, mainly Christian here.
We're in Gondor, and it's kind of mad. I suppose it's the sort of first day in a new country. You just don't quite know how it all figures out.
There's not one person riding the bike, so.
No.
They're not interested in us, they're just interested in us, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
One guy recognised me, this kid out here in the yellow t-shirt recognised me and went, "You make movies?" And I went, "Yeah." He said, "Why did you not arrive in a big car?" I said, "Well, because I'm doing a trip on a motorbike, blah, blah." He said, "You have a bodyguard?" And I said, "I have 10 of them, they're all around, just be very careful." Good, let's hit the road, Jack.
The whole landscape, people, it's just changed. Everyone's wearing colours. Everyone seemed really smiley and waved and nice. The whole thing has just been amazing.
From the minute we left the border, we were riding through little villages with children in rags and dirty feet and runny eyes, and kids coming up and begging and saying, "Give me money, give me pens. Give me money, money." These little poor creatures who are cheeky and funny, and over the days they just break your heart. And they're everywhere. They come out of the woodwork. You stop anywhere and suddenly you're surrounded by these kids.
It's nice to be able to get the bikes up in here, but I don't think there's any way through.
Good day though, good first day in Ethiopia. We come from London. That's Charlie there, look. Charlie.
Hello.
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 Now listen here, you children. I want you all to go away and come back with some roasted goat. I want a big leg of goat for me. One Charlie. Big goats. Okay? We have a fire. We have a bloody good time. Now hurry up. Be back before sunset.
I think we could be in for it.
Right, I suppose that's it then, guys, is it? No point in hanging outside. I'll see you tomorrow. Sleep well. See you in the morning, guys.
Just in case there's any snoring.
Good night.
Smiley?
Coming, Clyde, they've asked us for a nice cup of tea, so it looks amazing. For all to see. Oh, time to get up. Beautiful place, this. I mean, it's incredible. The more you look into bits and pieces, there's lovely little handprints of children. I don't know if they do it for every child that's born or something like that. They must do. And there's beautiful shelves here cut out of the mud, and all the wood at top is all blackened with smoke. It's an amazing place. Incredible tea. Just ginger, and they boiled it up so beautifully.
These, I think, is our host, our chief.
It's good.
Nanka.
Oh!
Please give me thank you.
Again, we're meeting people who have absolutely nothing, who are willing to share what they have with us, you know, who sit in their homes and make us tea and give us food and are proud of their land, and it's been phenomenal.
Breathtaking, isn't it? Literally breathtaking.
In this land of an hour, they
We're on our way to the Simeon National Park. These are the Ethiopian highlands, which is funny because Ewan was just talking about how much it was beginning to remind him of Scotland, but it's now beginning to feel like that too. So.
We're heading up towards the Eritrean border, and the road just became incredible. I mean, for riding that you could possibly imagine ever.
I just pinch myself sometimes that we've ridden these motorcycles from John O'Groats.
There were monkeys everywhere. I mean, I'm talking hundreds of monkeys, all flipping rocks over, eating bugs, and scratching themselves and all that kind of funny stuff, and with big baboon bottoms. So many of them. It's quite incredible how many there are.
This is some of the heaviest rain I've ever ridden in. I've ridden in some heavy rain, let me tell you. This is unbelievable. I'll never forget this.
Look at it, I'm in a mud bath. You gotta take the rough with the smooth, haven't you?
This is gonna put my little tent to the test, because it's over there covered in rock.
Just the rain is just a bore, because it stops you doing anything, really.
We are actually remarkably still on some sort of schedule, and all the UNICEF people are waiting to meet us. So we've been trying to make sure that we don't hold all those people up.
Oh, Namakamboe. Ngai Namakamboe.
This whole area has been just covered in landmines. And some date back from the Second World War, and it's a huge process. And so UNICEF are here trying to help and get that sorted out.
Right.
Oh,
below the knee.
And there's still shrapnel in his leg, and is that what's causing his problem?
Oh, you can see there. This kid who's lost his leg to a mine, and you imagine this whole field was covered in landmines, and look at how many kids there are running around, to see firsthand the after effects of landmines, the devastation they cause, and that was a real eye-opener. Sorry.
A million landmines across the Eritrean border, laid by the Eritreans and by the Ethiopians, and it's going to take something like 50 years to be able to clean them up properly.
UNICEF are helping make the children here mine aware, and using drama and workshops to teach children in all the schools in the area to be aware of mines. There's more to do if you find one, and not to if somebody gets hurt, not to rush in. All the essential things that kids need to know. They're also helping kids in their lives after the accident, and they're just bringing in these mobility cycles, which are extraordinary looking things. It's quite complicated, isn't it? It's got gears and...
There's 3 gears. It just seems so strange that, you have these wars, and the people who have to mop up all the mines are independent charities, and, you have countries that are still making them. I just don't understand. The only people who really get hurt are children. And people are still making them. I mean, how thick is that? People killing each other, how thick is that? And it was always the children who suffer, all the time, always, forever, always.
And then we went up to this town, Zalambesa, because it was a town right on the border between Eritrea and Ethiopia. It was absolutely devastated. At the end of the war there, when the Eritreans retreated from it, they blew everything up and they landmined the whole town. We got there and the whole village came out to meet us. Everyone was in their Sunday best, All the ladies were going with the eucalyptus branches, and it was a huge celebration. I'm talking about. And then there we are standing at the border.
Yeah, the border of Ethiopia in front of us is no man's land and trenches. We're not allowed to shoot the other way.
Looking up at Eritrea here, we're in Ethiopia here, there's soldiers everywhere. And there we are, standing there, and you think, well, I'll forever be able to remember it.
plan for today is to move on down south towards Addis Ababa and see what's on the route.
We're going to the huge market in Bati. I think I might buy a little donkey, because I really like the little baby donkeys in the road. They make me laugh. The donkeys are always plodding along, don't really give a damn. I really like them. I'm gonna have the first donkey and cart in North London. I'm gonna go totally green. Never mind your Toyota Prius, I'm going donkey power.
Well, we're in Bati, and this is supposed to be one of the biggest camel and sheep and cow markets where the lowland people meet the highland people. Wow, look at this. This is proper market.
It's just like the Star Wars animal noise, isn't it? You see where George got the old animal idea from?
Give me a kiss. They got sort of puppy dog eyes, you know?
So you go for the camel, Ewan goes for the donkey.
This is your furry donkey. He's a sweetheart though, isn't he? You're a bit warm, I would imagine. I'm boiling. He's got a kind of zebra look going on
it does,
his legs. And a huge cock. I mean, it kind of is my donkey. Apparently it's very difficult to ship them back to London without paying an enormous amount of vet fees, and you have to ship them, and so what I'm going to do is try and get one in London. The amazing thing about this market is that it's the meeting place for like all people from all over this area. So you see the most extraordinary looks, you know.
Chad, and it's basically, it's a bit like hashish or something like that, and you chew the leaves and it gives you, you get stoned. This is Chad. Is it more like hashish? It's like hashish.
Like in the film I made, Black Hawk Down, we learned that all the Somalian soldiers were chewing chat, which made them just completely crazy and wired and unstoppable.
No crazy.
No crazy. Yes, crazy.
No.
Chat.
Crazy, no.
All just shattered, and we've been on the road. I haven't had a proper break for ages, and I think we're just suffering now. And hopefully we'll get into Addis Ababa and have a few days off. It's much more difficult to ride when you're tired.
Charlie and I have been out of sorts with each other for a little while now.
I don't think I have a filter between my brain and mouth.
We've had a very up and down 3 days off here.
We're in Kenya, and apparently we can't stop.
They're saying it's bandit country, so we do want to camp before it's dark.
We're right in the wilds of Africa. So we'll see what happens.
This village, there's a ceremony. They're going to circumcise their boys.
We're all coming off today.
We haven't done 3 miles today.
At the moment, no one's going anywhere.
I've got this horrible feeling we're going to have to turn back.